Greetings! Welcome back to another edition of the What's New video series for the AtHomeNet community website service. Today we're talking about the new enhancements for December 2011. We've got a whole bunch of holiday surprises this month, and I think everybody's going to find something they like. So let's go ahead and log in and see what's new. We're going to start right off with some exciting news, particularly for those who have been clients of ours for a long time. This month we're adding the ability for our site search feature to search inside the contents of documents. This will support pretty much any kind of document you might load up, from all the Microsoft Office formats to HTML, text files, PDF files, and a number of other formats. So let's go ahead and show this in action. First, I'm going to go to our site search feature. I'm going to show you a document here that I've created. It's very simple. It's called Test Doc. It's Office Word 2010 format, and I've just typed in here, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I haven't loaded this document to the website yet, so let's go to our site search feature and search for quick brown fox, and you'll notice that no results were found on that. So now let's go to our documents feature, and I'm going to go into our general category and add a new item. And I'm just going to call this search test so I don't use my keywords. And we're going to load that document that I just showed you. We're not going to give it any keywords or a thumbnail image at this point. We're just going to save it as is. So now we're going to go back to our site search feature, and we're going to immediately search for quick brown fox. And you'll notice that now there's that document that we just loaded up a second ago. I'll go ahead and click on it just to prove that that's opening that document. So there it is. I could also search for lazy dog, and it finds it there. So any of those words inside that document, inside the Word document, or inside any number of other formatted documents are now fully searchable on your website. This is a feature that we've had requests for years, so we're excited to finally offer that. I'm also excited to offer this next new enhancement, so we're going to go back to the private home page, and we've added a new widget to the stable of widgets that we've been creating for you for your public and private home page. So if we go into Edit Page, and we say that we want to add a new widget, you'll see this brand new widget called Marquee Messages. And what this is for is the ability for you to show messages, important messages, short little messages to your residents immediately upon them logging into the website. So I'm going to click that particular widget and select Next. And what it will let you do is enter any number of short little messages that it will rotate through. So I'm just going to create a couple of quick ones here. I've pre-typed them to save us some time, but I'm going to have an annual meeting notice, and I click Add, and then I'm going to put a little message here about Toys for Tots at the clubhouse, and I'm going to add that. And you can add as many of these as you want to. I'm going to add these two, and then you can select what type of transition you would like to have between the various messages, and you can have them slide up and down, fade in and out, just fade out, or I'm going to select ticker, which is a fairly popular one, I think. And then we're going to apply that. And as always, it's added our new widget to the bottom of the page. So I'm just going to edit it real quick and move it so you can see it up here at the top. And we're going to click Done. So now here's our new widget. Your residents log into the site and they'll immediately see this ticker style messages at the top of the screen. And as I said, you could also have various other type of transitions, slide up, slide down, fade in, fade out. We're going to edit this one more time, and I'm going to show you one other neat aspect of this widget, which is when a message becomes stale, is no longer important, you can obviously just click this delete button to remove the message. But you'll also notice that if you want the messages to show up in a different order, I'm just going to add a couple more messages here real quick to make this easier to see. You can actually grab the messages and drag and drop them into a different order very easily from this Edit Widget screen. So it makes for a nice little easy way to put the messages in the order you want, or to delete any messages that have become stale, and then you can simply apply that and that will take effect immediately. So we hope you like this new widget, the marquee message widget. Okay, the next area of enhancements is to our email bulletin feature, so I'm going to go straight into email bulletins. And where this enhancement applies is when you're sending an email bulletin, so we'll go ahead and pick a template and go in and do a send to all. And we've made some enhancements to this feature over the last couple months, but this takes it one more step. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to change that message any at all. I'm just going to send it because the important part is yet to come. So you can see it's sending to 49 of our residents. This will take just a second to go ahead and send out. We'll let it wait. Okay, so it's sent all 49 messages. And you'll notice this is all familiar to you, this information about who it's sent to and the status of the message. But what we're going to do is scroll down here a bit and you'll notice something different. This particular message did not get sent. It attempted to send it, but it couldn't send it because it said that this person's email box had insufficient storage. In other words, their inbox was full. So it's giving you an active message telling you that it wasn't able to deliver this message and why it wasn't able to, because this person's inbox was full. We'll scroll a little bit further down and you'll see here's another error message, and this is saying that this mailbox is actually unavailable. Maybe they typed the mailbox address wrong, email address wrong, or perhaps this resident switched from one provider to another and has canceled this email. But it quickly lets you know that there's a couple of emails that it had problems sending and why it had problems, so you can address those. And then further down, what's also new this month is that it will actually screen through the emails, and if it can find some obvious problems with any of the email addresses, it won't even attempt to send to those emails, and it will let you know down here at the bottom of any recipients that were skipped due to bad email addresses. In this case, you'll notice that the Davis email address actually has 2 periods in it by mistake, which is not a legitimate one. And this email address for Roger and Rachel doesn't have a .com, and they forgot that part. So again, you could go in and address these issues and clean this up. So hopefully this will help you get more of your emails successfully delivered by letting you know what kind of problems are happening. So these messages come up immediately when you send the message. But maybe you want to go back in and check on the status of a message later on. Maybe you have a lot more residents in your community and you don't wait around for this to come up on the screen. You move on to other things. Well, you can also go back now to your email bulletins page after the fact, after you've sent one, within 7 days, and you've already had this capability to go to the email bulletin status. So we'll go into that feature, but now we've added some extra capabilities here. So if you look at the email bulletin that I just sent a minute ago, here it is. If I click on sent, I'll get the status screen, which has been here for a couple of months now. But now you'll see we've got some new capability. As we scroll down here, you'll notice that any that had errors, the little error message is a hyperlink, and if I click on it, it's going to give us a pop-up window that again tells us that I couldn't send this because this person's mailbox was full. And if I scroll down a bit further, you'll see the second one here that has an error, and if I click on that, it says again that this person was unknown. This was an unknown email box, and it couldn't send that as well. So again, this just gives you a couple different ways to check on the status of various emails and see why they might not be sent successfully. While we're on the subject of email bulletins, in a related matter, for a long time now you've been able to send an email bulletin while you're adding a new event to the events calendar. But we've added some enhancements there this month, so we're going to go ahead and go down and add a new event to the event calendar. And in the past, when you've sent or when you've added a new event, you've had this ability to send out an email bulletin at the same time about that event. But when you've done that in the past, the subject of that email bulletin going out has been a canned message that says email bulletin from and then your community name. This month what we've added is the ability for you to customize that subject, and in fact it will give you a nice custom one itself. So as you start filling in the information about this event, and I'm just going to put some information here about this event. So this is a book club meeting at 7 o'clock on the 5th, and as I scroll down now to do my email bulletin, you'll notice that it grabbed that information from up farther on the screen and built a custom subject for your email bulletin saying book club meeting 12/5/2011 7 p.m. So I could just say who I want to send that to, the book club, and I could click Save New, and it will save the event in the event calendar and send the email bulletin to all the book club members. But you'll also notice that it lets me change that, so if you don't like the custom subject that it built, you can actually come in here and adjust it a little bit if you want to. You can completely replace it. So now you've got a lot more control over those email bulletins that are going out when you're adding a new event to the event calendar. The next item for this month is in our recently added document and image auditing tool. So if you've been following this the last couple months, this is a new feature of ours, but we'll go into admin menu, statistics menu, and at the bottom is show site storage statistics. And we've added these two new reports that show you any unused images and unused documents on your website. We added these a couple of months ago, but we've enhanced them this month, and we'll go into the show unused images and show you what we've done here. And these are based on some great feedback we've had from our users over the past month or so since we've added these features. First thing people wanted to do was be able to see the images before they deleted them to make sure that they were images that they wanted to delete. So now you'll notice that each image name is a hyperlink, and when you click on it, it'll pop up a new window with that particular image in it so you can see it and make sure that there's not something special. You want to keep that image or grab a copy of it before you delete it. But then the second area that we got a lot of feedback on was if there's a lot of unused images like this, if you've been a client of ours for a long time and you've accumulated a number of images that are no longer used on your website, that it was kind of painful to go through and delete those one at a time, which was how you had to do it before. So now we've added the ability for you to multiple select a number of images that you want to delete and then just delete them in one swoop by clicking this delete selected. Or if you've got a ton of images, you can actually click this select all, automatically select all the images within that particular folder that are not currently being used, and you can simply delete selected, and it will go through and very quickly delete all the messages that were in that folder. You can do the same folder by folder and delete large numbers of images that are not used on your website currently. So hopefully that helps you manage your unused images and unused documents. This same functionality works on the unused documents feature. All right, moving right on, our next area of enhancements are to our login request feature. So I'm going to go in as an administrator to login requests, and let's say I've gotten a notice via email that some new login requests have come to the website and I need to address them. And I'm just going to review this Jill Jamesley login request and see if I can get this person set up to log into our website. So when I view this request, I noticed that first off, Jill obviously is not currently in our address book because it didn't find any matches on her. So normally what I would do here is simply say not found below, add new, and it would add Jill into the address book. It would come up with a random login and password for her, and it would email her that information and let her know that she's ready to go. However, what you will notice is that Jill got a little lazy here and typed her name and her address in all lowercase. So that's going to make our address book, maybe we print a directory from it, it's going to make it look a little non-standard. So what we've added this month is the ability for you as an administrator to edit this information prior to it being added to your address book. So I can actually go in here real quick and clean this information up a little bit by proper capitalizing the information. And you'll also notice that Jill got a little sloppy here and mistyped her email address. You can tell that she probably meant to put .com and she put .cm. So I can actually clean that up And then I can say not found below, add new. And when I do that, it will add this updated, refreshed information to our address book, and it will notify Jill of her login and password. And what this will let me do is a little bit more easily keep the information in the address book clean and in a standard format. So we've had some requests for that, and hopefully that is something that you can make use of. The second area inside the login request feature that we've enhanced this month is if you have any custom questions that you ask of your residents when they request a login. For example, in our community, we ask if they're interested in volunteering for the community anytime they request a login to the website. Those questions and the answers that people put for them are now going to be in the email that comes to the approver when that login request gets submitted. You used to have to come to the website and actually view the login request on the website to see the answers to those custom questions. But as I said, now that information will be in the email. So if you send the email to multiple people, maybe one person doesn't actually approve them but just takes the information and does other things with it, they'll now have access to all that information without having to log into the website. All right, let's keep rolling here. The next item in the list of enhancements is under the feature descriptions area, and you're probably aware that feature descriptions simply let you customize the wording at the top of various features. And we've added two new features that you can customize the wording at the top of this month. They are the lost email screen, and they are the site search screen. So if you come to this feature and scroll down here far enough, you can customize the wording on those two pages. So those pages would be, let's just show them to you real quick. The lost email would be what shows up on this forgot your password screen. And the second one would be what shows up on at the top of the site search screen. So you can customize the feature descriptions for these two features now. All right, the next item that we've enhanced is our settings page. And if you've been following along with these videos over the years, you know that we have an area where you can go in and make changes and customizations to your site to have it work the way you want and look the way you want by using this administrative settings page. But it's kind of gotten out of control because there's a ton of settings that you can control on your website on this page. So what we've done is reformat this page a little bit to make it a lot easier to use. So we've created collapsible categories of settings now. So if you're looking for a particular setting, say for your announcements feature that you want to change, you would simply very quickly come down to the announcement settings, click on it, it will open that category up, scroll it to the top of the page for you so you can see it, and let you make any adjustments to announcement settings. Maybe you want to make some document settings changes to your documents feature, click on that, it will open it up and scroll it to the top of the page. So hopefully this makes it a lot easier to find the settings that you want to change and make those changes. And while we're on that subject, we've added a new setting to the photo albums area. So let's look at that. We'll click on photo album settings. And we now let you change the sort order of the photo albums. In the past, it's always been that custom sequence number that you assign to the photo album when you create it. But now you can actually sort your photo albums either alphabetically, most popular first, most recent first, or by the original sequence number. So if you want to do that, come into the new settings area and take a look at those. Finally, as usual, we've added a number of new email bulletin templates this month based on requests from our administrators out there who are using our service. So we've got a whole ton of them here this month, of everything from Toy Collection Drive, Toys for Tots, Breakfast with Santa, Holiday Lighting, just a whole bunch of new neat email bulletin templates that you can use to send out messages and announcements and notices to your residents via the email bulletin feature. So try some of these out. I think they're really nice. And that is it for this month. We encourage your feedback and ideas, and we'll be back next month with some great new enhancements and another edition of the AtHomeNet What's New video series.
That concludes this month's edition of What's New. We'd like to thank all of our existing clients for your time and for your business. As always, we encourage your feedback and ideas, so if you have any suggestions for new features or new enhancements to existing features, send us an email to support@athomenet.com. If you don't have website service with us and you like what you see, send us an email to sales@athomenet.com or give us a call at 1-800-556-7852. Be sure to tune in next month for more new features and more new enhancements from AtHomeNet.